In this video, I will show you the main changes in Aletheia 3.1, which you can now get from our website. First of all, we've updated the file format Aletheia uses to the new 2016 page XML. So when you open one of your current files, you will notice this message. You can of course still open any files with an older file format, but once you save it, it automatically uses the latest format. If you need to, you can also export in one of the older formats. We've made some major internal changes, which in the best case you shouldn't notice, but in case you see any strange behavior, just contact us. To keep this video short, I will go very quickly through everything. In case you want to know more, I'm sure you are very happy to read the 130 pages user manual. You will notice a new panel in the home toolbar. These tools are for transforming the whole page. You can rotate, for instance. And here you can select if you want to rotate the page content, the image, or both. Usually you would use both. And you can also crop the page like this. You should make sure to delete all content that is outside the inner area before you crop. Now, because these operations change the image as well, you need also to save the image or images in this case. So we have moved the page properties to the same dialog as the region properties. So if you select the region, you will see the region's properties. Otherwise, you will see the page properties. There are also a few new attributes on page level. Language, script, and reading direction can now be specified here for the whole page. In earlier versions, this could only be done for individual regions. Text line order is a new attribute that is related to reading direction. So the reading direction specifies how a single text line or word is supposed to be read. So left to right, for example. The text line order is one level higher and specifies how text lines are supposed to be read within a text column or block, for instance. So for English, this would be top to bottom. Moving on to regions. We added a new slider in the contour detection tools. So if you need a little bit of margin between foreground objects and region outline, that's possible now. And speaking of outlines, there's a new way to resize a region. When you select a region, you can simply drag from the selection box. When you use the hand tool, you need to press Shift, and if you use the select tool, it will work straight away. The next feature isn't really new, but we integrate it more and more with each version. I'm talking about nested regions. It's easiest to show with an example. Say you have a table region, for example. You can't add any text content or text line objects to the table objects directly, but you can add nested regions that represent table cells. So when you draw over an existing region, Aletheia will now automatically make it a child region, and the nested region has a slightly thinner outline and an arrow in the label if labels are enabled. And you can also check the region hierarchy in the All Regions dialog. Coming to text-related features now. There are a few new attributes that describe the text content of a region, text line, word or glyph. The confidence is not new, but for consistency it's also in this dialog now. There's also a data type field, which can be used to describe the observed type of text. So coming back to the table example, a table cell could be of type integer, for example. This can be useful if you want to do some further targeted processing with the page file later. You can also provide some details for the data type. It's up to you what you put in there. It could be a regular expression, for example, or just some plain text. And finally, you can also provide comments regarding the text content. If you want, you can now also use your own font. By default, Aletheia uses a special font, but if you need support for certain characters, you can change that here. You might be aware that in Page XML and in Aletheia, text content can exist on different levels. It is up to the user or other software tools which level is used. So in this example page, there is text content on all levels for this one region and its text lines, words and glyphs. And for the other region here, that's only text on the region level. So if the text is only on region level, but you really want it on glyph level to do OCR training, for example, then you can use the text propagation. We completely renewed this feature in Aletheia 3.1. There's now a dedicated dialog which gives you some visual feedback and plenty information. So if you select one or multiple regions and click on propagate, you see on which levels there's text content already. And now you can propagate from your regions to all lower levels or just to text lines if you prefer. It's really flexible, as you can see from all the buttons here. We have also redesigned the way you use OCR and segmentation. It's much more flexible now. For example, you can run the integrated text recognition for multiple selected objects at once. And you can even integrate your own OCR method if it's command line compatible. And it's also easier to add languages or training data for the integrated Tesseract OCR engine. And finally, there are some changes for settings and customization I will just quickly mention. There's a new settings dialog which gives you the most important options at one glance. And on top of changing the look of region outlines, you can now also change the selection frames, as shown here. All the rectangle tools use a crosshair cursor now, and you can even do this for any tool if you press Shift and Control at the same time. And finally, you can use the content of the custom region attribute as a label. I will show this quickly. So this was just a quick overview of the new features in Aletheia 3.1. If you want to know more, just have a look at the user guide, our website, or just email us. Thanks for watching.